me great pleasure, Honourable Ministers, to welcome you to this 24th meeting of the Ministerial Committee of the Organ on Politics, Defence and Security Cooperation. This meeting will receive progress reports on the implementation of decisions made at the last MCO meeting, as well as deliberate on strategic issues in defence, peace and security cooperation. Overall, the security and political situation in the region remains fairly stable. However, there are still pockets of security challenges in some of our member states, and this meeting will, among others, discuss the situation in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, updates from the Kingdom of Lesotho, as well as northern parts of the Republic of Mozambique. As regards consolidation of democracy, the meeting will receive a report on the elections that were held in August of 2021 in the Republic of Zambia under a very dire public health situation posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the failures to deploy the SADC Electoral Observation Mission, the Secretariat supported the SIOM to maintain daily consultations with the electoral stakeholders in Zambia during the pause leading to peaceful elections. This year, the Secretariat will support the SIOM to the Republic of Angola and the Kingdom of Lesotho to hold their national elections. The Secretariat looks forward to the Member States providing the appropriate personnel, particularly those already trained by the Secretariat in ICT-based election observations, to be deployed to the two Member States for election observation. Honourable Ministers, the SADC Electoral Advisory Council, or SIAC, plays an important function in the consolidation of democracy in the region. As an advisory structure on electoral matters, it is critical that the SIAC also comprises well-qualified and experienced citizens from our region. It is in this respect that your meeting is also expected to consider a number of issues that will make the operations of the SIAC more effective. At present, the SIAC has vacancies on its structure, and the Secretariat pleads with Member States that have not provided nominations for membership to the SIAC to do so. Equally important is the prevention and peaceful resolution of conflicts as the most sustainable method for enhancement of peace and security in the region. At the apex, the SADC mediation, conflict prevention, and preventative diplomacy structure led by His Excellency Dr. Jakaya Mrisho Kikwete, former President of the United Republic of Tanzania, in his capacity as the chairperson of the panel of elders. The panel of elders is supported by the Mediation Reference Group, or MRG, which provides the requisite technical input and support. It is imperative that we make efficient use of these structures and benefit from the wisdom of the eminent persons of the region in preventing and resolving significant inter- and intra-state conflicts. Honourable Ministers, since 2014, the region as a collective has played a significant role in assisting the Kingdom of Lesotho to find lasting solutions to her political and security challenges. These efforts have led to the stabilization of the security sector, and admirably, parts of that sector regarding the implementation of the SADC decisions on the political and security situation in the Kingdom. Allow me to express the region's gratitude to all stakeholders and the facilitator for the progress that has been made so far. This meeting will also be updated on the following, among others: progress and challenges in the mobilization of the required resources for SADC Regional Logistics Depot, including the proposals that will enable the region to raise the required resources to fill the gap in a phased approach and achieve the 2024 timeframe. It will also consider progress made so far in rolling out the regional strategy for combating transnational organized crimes, which was adopted last year. The developments on protocol and facilitation of movement of persons, which is yet to come into force, as well as the status on concluding bilateral visa exemption agreements for SADC citizens in line with the principles of reciprocity. It is important that we achieve the objective of the facilitation of the movement of persons within our region, as this will support our trade and development goals in accordance with the RSDP. And lastly, developments on the protocol against corruption, as well as consider a number of regional frameworks that have been developed to enhance the objectives of the protocol against corruption, enhance regional response to wildlife crime, and management of migration.
Dear colleagues, the agenda before us is extensive, which is a reflection of the wide scope of work that is covered by the organ. This MCO is the culmination of the work of the committees that anchor the work of this organ, the Interstate Politics and Diplomacy Committee, and the Interstate Defense and Security Committee. As we reflect on the progress of implementation of our decisions of the 23rd Ministerial Council, it's really pleasing to note that the Executive Secretary and team pass with distinction in that 81% of the MCO decisions have been implemented by the Secretariat and Member States. I wish our departments could have that record. This, without doubt, contributes to strengthening the overall efforts in consolidating our goal to achieve peace and stability in the region. In the quest for maintenance of peace and stability, SADC is mindful of the need to continuously extend the frontiers of democratic principles in our region for the betterment of the citizenry and prevention of conflicts. It's therefore gratifying to note that as a region we continue to conduct democratic, transparent, fair, peaceful, and credible elections within the dictates of Member States' legislation and the SADC principles and guidelines governing democratic elections. The Republic of Angola and the Kingdom of Lesotho will hold national elections in August 2022 and October 2022, respectively. We wish our fellow members peaceful elections in this regard. The SADC Electoral Observer Mission, as the Executive Secretary has said, will, as is practice, be deployed in conformity with the SADC principles and guidelines governing democratic elections. As a region, we also attach great importance to the role of women in peace and security. Colleagues would recall that our sister country, Namibia, spearheaded the landmark United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325 on women, peace and security on 31st October 2000. SADC has also taken upon itself the task of tracking implementation of this important resolution in the region, and we note the progress in the development of national action plans by SADC member states. We also welcome the launch of the Women, Peace and Security International Center by the Republic of Namibia and the generous invitation to SADC members to make use of the center. Colleagues, as we reflect on SADC's defense and security agenda, we recognize the importance of ensuring security in our land, air, and maritime domains. We will therefore discuss the SADC Integrated Maritime Security Strategy Action Plan, noting the vital importance of maritime trade and security in our region. We have continued the fight against political and security threats, as well as social and economic threats faced by member states. To mitigate these threats, our organization has put in place measures, including the development and revision of national counterterrorism strategies and plans of action, constitutional reforms, the crafting and implementation of socioeconomic transformation policies, strengthening of legislation, and national strategies dealing with transnational organized crime, amongst others. It's heartening to note that the political and security situation in our sister country, the Kingdom of Lesotho, remains generally calm and stable. Similarly, SADC is seized with finding a solution to the challenges of instability confronting the Kingdom of Eswatini. Regarding the security situation in the Cabo Delgado province of Mozambique, SADC continues to be fully engaged. In this respect, may I respectfully urge member states to continue supporting the concerted efforts of SADC to fight terrorism, not only in Mozambique, but wherever it may occur in the region. Allow me to also commend member states for their continual and unconditional support to regional efforts to fight terrorism, particularly in Mozambique. In addition to the deployment of SAMIM, SADC is currently undertaking capacity building programs for police, correctional services, women and youth, as well as dialogue programs for civic leaders under the banner of SAMIM and through the African Union Early Response Mechanism. These are efforts aimed at contributing to the reconstruction efforts underway in Cabo Delgado within the framework of the Cabo Delgado Reconstruction Plan. To sustain our capacity to address conflict, we need highly skilled personnel in a number of interrelated disciplines. The SADC Regional Peacekeeping Training Center has the critical mandate of building the capacity of the region in preparation for deployment to peacekeeping initiatives in line with SADC, African Union, and United Nations standards. Dear colleagues, it's also pleasing in the same vein to note that the region is making efforts to prevent and combat terrorism, as shown by the official launch of the SADC Regional Counterterrorism Center on the 28th of February 2021 in the United Republic of Tanzania. In the same breath, the implementation of the African Union roadmap of practical steps to silence the guns in Africa, as well as observation of the Africa Amnesty Month in September each year, need intensification to enable surrender and collection of illegally acquired weapons and arms. I also wish to take this opportunity to respectfully urge member states to expeditiously sign the agreement amending the SADC protocol on the control of firearms, ammunition, and other related materials. Since its adoption by the summit in August 2020, only 4 member states have signed the agreement. It needs 7 more member states to sign for it to come into force. And I'm sure you would all recognize the importance of controlling firearms, ammunition, and other related materials, especially given recent incidents of violence in South Africa. Allow me, dear colleagues, to close by declaring this ministerial meeting open. I look forward to you guiding our officials as well as SADC on the rich agenda that is before us, and I do hope you will contribute to strengthen the work that is being done. I thank you